Hi, I'm Karen and welcome to Karen's Crazy Kitchen today. Today I am making one of my most favorite foods ever, and it is very much like Spanokopita without the phyllo dough. And I think of my friend Maureen, who turned me onto this recipe years ago, and I've doctored it up to kind of make it my own. And so here we go. This is a great recipe. There's a lot of cheese in it. Great for keto diets, and it's also high in protein. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with spinach. And what I have here is I have a muslin tea towel. All right, I keep these around for lots of different reasons. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and spread it out, and I'm going to open up a 24-ounce package of thawed chopped spinach. And I'm going to open it up here with my kitchen shears, and these are stainless steel, and if you follow me, you know that everything in my kitchen that is stainless steel I refer to as jewelry. They come apart to clean. They're great to, you can sharpen them, and they're real handy like that. So anyway, so here I'm going to take my spinach, turn it upside down. The thing is, I want to get as much water out of this spinach as I can. All right, so I'm going to take my spinach and just wring it out in here. Now I'm going to be using it, I really didn't need that. I'm using our stainless steel bowls today. They come in a 2, 4, and 6 quart. And so anyway, I love our stainless steel bowls. They have a silicone bottom. They don't move around on the counter. So I'm going to take my spinach and I'm just wringing it out. Look at all the juice that's coming out of that spinach. All right, so you want to get all that out. So whenever you're doing a recipe that calls for frozen spinach thawed, you want to make sure you wring it out. The recipe may not tell you to wring it out, but you really should wring it out. So there we go. This is just a muslin cotton towel, kitchen towel. All right. So here we go. That is how much juice came out of there. That's a good, maybe 2/3 of a cup. I'm gonna set that aside. And I'm going to take my spinach and put it into my big bowl here. This will wash up very nicely. And so now I have a ball of spinach. All right. For this recipe, I need to add 2 eggs. And I'm taking my egg, cracking it on a flat surface so I get less shells. And do that. If you crack your egg on the rim of your pan, you're likely to get more shells. And I need to add some seasonings to this. And I'm going to be adding our Pampered Chef seasonings. I am adding 2 tablespoons of our all-purpose dill mix. I like a lot of dill. And I'm going to add another 2 teaspoons of our Greek seasoning. Spanokopita is Greek. There's lemon flavoring in here. I use this all the time. I make salad dressings out of it. The great thing about our seasonings is that they don't have additives in them. So sometimes they get a little lumpy, but that's okay. I'd rather have the lumps than the additives. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of our garlic rub. You can use fresh garlic here if you like, but in this instance, because I'm baking it for a while, I like using the garlic rub. All right, I'm going to grab a scraper. This is our classic scraper, and what I need is this is almost a full container of cottage cheese, a piece of pepper in there it looks like, and I am adding this whole container. This is a 16 ounce. Now the recipe calls for 12, but I like a lot of cheese. So I'm adding that and mixing this all together. Oh, I forgot to add some salt. Let's add a little salt. All right, here's my little spoon, my little measuring spoon here. I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. And mix it around. Now the only other thing I need to add is feta cheese. And I should have opened this up ahead of time. I love to buy feta cheese in its brine if you can find it. and chunk is the best. I think chunk has a much better flavor than the already shredded. All right. Oh, I love this stuff. All right, so I need, this has 8 ounces. I'm going to use half of this. Oh, I'm going to use 1.5. Calls for 4 ounces. This is 8. I'm going to use 6 ounces because I love feta cheese. I'm using our crinkle cutter to just kind of chunk it up a little bit. I want to break it up, but I don't want it to be real fine. Just like that, okay? And using our flexible mats to put that into my bowl. Use the scraper here. And here we go, just like that. Here, this is our filling. I'm gonna just mix this up a little bit. Again, it's very cheesy and it's gonna be even more cheesier, so hang on. Oh, this smells amazing. All right, so that's what it looks like. All right, now I need to prepare my pan. And I'm going to be using our round stoneware baking pan. This stoneware is fabulous. The stoneware is like quarry tile, so it's like using quarry tile in your oven. It evens out the temperature of the oven, which is awesome, and it gets nice and hot, so it's like the temperature of the oven, so your food is like baking on nothing. It improves the texture of your food, which improves the flavor of your food. What I need to do here is I need to use I'm going to use my bag slicer here. There's a little blade right in here, and then this is a clip. I'm going to take my blade and open up my cheese. I didn't do a very good job there. I always have a problem with these Ziploc bags anyway. So what's great about this is that if I was going to reuse this, I could use this as a clip. And it has a magnet and it will stay to my oven. What's the oven? I can't think of the word. Oven hood. All right, so I'm taking this cheese and I'm layering this all over. Now notice I am not spraying my pan. The cheese is, of course, nice and fatty, and when you're using something high in fat, you really don't need to. You can tell my stone is pretty new here, so normally if I was using something low in fat, I would, maybe put a little spray on it, but I don't need to do that today. And I'm taking my slices here, and they're a little bit on the uneven side, but that's okay. There's paper in between, so it makes it hard to cut in half. So I'm just going to take my cheese. I love Munster cheese. Love it. One of my favorite treats is a pumpernickel bagel with melted Munster cheese and mustard. Try it. Just put it in the microwave. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our filling and put in here. And I'm going to spread it out nice and even. You might have noticed I use the Good Nature cottage cheese. It's higher in protein. I'm working real hard to get a lot of protein in my diet, so that's why I chose that one. And now what we need to do is we need to shred. I'm going to bring my cutting board back here. We'll set this aside. I have my oven preheated to 350, by the way. I have about 6 ounces of mozzarella cheese here. The recipe calls for 4. Why use 4 when you can use 6, right? I'm going to open this up a little bit more with my shears. And I have a little dry spot here. I'm going to cut that off. All right. So now what I'm going to use is my cheese grater. And I'm going to grate my mozzarella cheese. Now, again, if you have followed me before, you've been to any of my pepper check parties, you know that I grate all my own cheese. And because I don't like the additives, I talked about additives. I don't like additives in my food. So when you go to the grocery store and you buy shredded cheese, you're going to notice an additive in there called cellulose. Now, it's not cellulite. You have to work for that. but they don't give you the cellulose for free. And it also, when it's added to your cheese, it hinders the melting properties of it. So you don't need it. Why pay for something you don't need, and why eat something you don't need? So now I'm going to take my shredded mozzarella cheese and put it all over the top of my spinach layer. See, this is enough. 4 ounces would just not be enough. Now, would it? I hope you agree with me. And I'm going to bake this at 350 for about 40 minutes. Thank you for joining me today, and I will look forward to seeing you in Karen's Crazy Kitchen again. Have a great day.